One thing I did want to address right away on the home improvement channel, on the Werner Paint and Home Improvement channel, was lead paint. And this is the first thing that I've already had a few of my friends just recently in the last 6 months tell me, oh, hey, we're looking to buy a home. You know, they're about to have kids, whatever their situation is, and I want to address lead paint. Because despite all the media attention that has gone on, especially in Oklahoma recently, I want to make sure that everybody's kind of clear on what's going on with this. And I don't necessarily claim to be an expert on it necessarily or anything like that. However, being in the painting business, I'm well aware of it. And this is just my take on lead paint. Number one, if you're looking at buying a home that's a fixer-upper, I would just say flat out, if it was me, I would never buy a home that was built before 1978 because of the risk of lead paint that could be in that home. Now, you can test these homes, and my dad, who's gone through all the training and keeps track of the paperwork on it to comply with all the laws and stuff like that, he's tested some homes. We did have one home that he did the lead test on, and basically there's like a little, to put it in a nutshell, there's like a little tester stick piece of paper, something like that, and basically, you know, they put some kind of fluid or something like that, and you can see if there's lead on it. It turns pink or something like that. But basically, I don't do that. Good old dad takes care of that. But this one home was just basically infested with lead. And we didn't even know the full extent of it until, you know, I really told my dad, I said, you know, I'm not interested in helping you with this job. I just flat out told him, I said, if you're going to work on any job, on any home that has lead in it, I said, I will stay home and I won't make any money. I have better things to do with my time. You know, I'll get some extra guitar students or something for my guitar lessons, but I'm not going to work for you and do work like that because it's too dangerous. I don't want to have children and they have Down syndrome or other health problems because of exposure to lead. It's very dangerous, and definitely I would say flat out, if you're having kids, if you're a guy, you're my age, you're a gal, it's my age, you're having kids, already got kids, planning to have kids especially, or just for your own health, why would you even want to buy a house that would potentially have lead in it? So, you know, in this particular situation, we referred it to another friend of ours who said he would be willing to take it on and was pretty confident about it. Well, he gets into it and he says, hey, by the way, a bunch of your little testing sites that you had there on the house, they turned color too, and they're, you know, it's in the carpet, it's all over the place. Basically, the whole house is just infested with huge amounts of lead. And this was somebody who I believe was like a grandparent. You know, they're having grandkids over there. Maybe not a lot, but they're still having kids around there. Lead is bad news for kids. And so that's just my warning, and especially to people who I know, and that's why I made this channel and I created these videos, is I've, you know, even though I'm not really old, you know, after getting out of college for the last 10 years, I've you know, run into friends and they tell me about these things about buying homes, and some of the things that I hear them tell me, I'm just thinking, man, I wish you would have called me before you made this decision to go embark on whatever this project is or whatever. So yeah, lead, it's real dangerous stuff, and you don't want to be around it. Yes, the laws in Oklahoma have, I believe, something happened just recently in the last couple months where the governor or somebody decided that, hey, whoever it is, Attorney General in Oklahoma decided, hey, they're not going to enforce these laws, these EPA laws. They're not going to fine people on it, but it still doesn't matter. Just because the government isn't going to fine a painter or whoever for not correctly taking care of, you know, lead problems in a home, that doesn't mean the lead's going to disappear. There's still that health danger. So I would definitely say, you know, stay away from stuff like that, and don't invest your money in something like that. The other thing is, you want to think about, if you're going to buy a home, what about the real estate value? The reason I'm going to say don't even buy a home that's built before 1978 is because, what do you think? Maybe you test a home and it has no lead. Maybe it's lead-free. You don't have to worry about it. The problem is if you live in a neighborhood where usually that's the case, where most of the homes are built at the, you know, generally the same time. What if you're in an older neighborhood, and your next door neighbor has it? What do you think is going to happen to the resale value of that house? Now, when you try to take your house, let's say you buy a house that's next to it, even though it doesn't have lead, the problem is that maybe 20 years down the road, you may want to sell that house. The problem is you've got neighbors who have sale values that are lower because they've got lead in them, they've got these lead problems. And, you know, I would just say, you know, watch out for the price. I mean, in terms of a home being an investment, I would say that any home that has lead in it is not an investment from any perspective, and I don't care what you paid for it. In my opinion, just to be blunt, is, you know, any kind of home, especially, you know, a lot of these older neighborhoods around in Tulsa that are, you know, smaller homes, you know, I would definitely suggest that you not buy one of those homes, because it's a matter of time. It may take 50 years, but at some point, you know, these neighborhoods are basically going to be bulldozed over, because they're just too much of a health hazard, and we're getting more and more information about this stuff. But that's just my warning. As I say, stay away from anything older than 1978. Unless you really have to, for some reason, you have some reason you can't rent or something like that. You're in some kind of dire situation where you absolutely can't rent an apartment or something, or you can't get a house in a newer neighborhood. But that's what I would say. And I know a lot of the homes that were built in the 1970s, they're built really well. You know, a lot of the homes from that era were, you know, made by very high quality, with high quality materials and high quality craftsmanship. But man, when you got lead poisoning being a true danger there, it pretty much diminishes all that. So stay away from that. All my friends on Facebook, all you guys out on YouTube that are my age that may be looking to buy a home, I would just say that is the #1 thing I would think of. And of course, you know, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a real estate agent. I would say definitely consult those people before you buy a home anyway. You know, definitely you'll obviously have to consult your banker as well. But those are things to look out for. As a painter, that's what I would look out for. So some of these paint jobs, you know, to actually go and fix some of this stuff and even do a decent paint job on them, these estimates that I've seen from other painters, you know, my father was going to charge him, I can't remember what his price was, but it was, I don't know, let's say it was $5,000 to $6,000. Well, the next guy looked at it and it was even higher. And that's what you're going to look at to restore some of these older homes. Now, if you live in a really nice part of town, for example, in Tulsa, let's say Utica Square, you know, those people who have homes that are easily, you know, maybe up to 7-figure value, those types of homes may be worth restoring. But in terms of just like a rickety old small home that, you know, is really old, I would say it's probably not something that you really want to invest in at all. So anyway, there's one more thing I wanted to add to this. I forgot what it was. So anyway, beware of lead. Don't buy lead homes.